bhakti, that bhava bhakti will manifest in his heart. Why it takes so long time?
Hmm?
Why it takes so long?
Take much time.
Oh,
I give late.
okay. দরজাটা লাগিয়ে। So two kinds. Sadhaka means the individual spiritual aspirant like us. What we should have to, we have to pay attention to this. One, we have to see to renounce certain things which are unfavorable for the growth of spiritual life, and adapt certain things which will make me strong in my spiritual journey. So two, avoid something and hold on to something, practice something. Favorable, which is favorable for spiritual life, adopt them. Which is unfavorable and takes away your mind from God, avoid those things. At present, there is no possibility, without that, there is no possibility of bhava bhakti will manifest in his heart. Bhava means mood, spiritual mood will not come up. People can sing and dance and do everything, but that will not create any spiritual mood inside. And prema bhakti, there is no possibility that bhava bhakti will manifest in his heart. What to speak of prema bhakti? Prema bhakti is the highest bhakti. Prema means supreme love. Eh? Supreme love means like Ramakrishna, talking about God and going into intoxication, just go into samadhi. That's the parabhakti. And another is the bhava bhakti. You get intoxicated when you talk about God and get more and more absorbed and absorbed, greater joy and greater joy. You feel it here. At present, there are many persons who adhere to various types of fabricated views to doctrine that display only an external veneer of religion, but are actually opposed to bhakti, to the ideas contrary to the Vedas, to opportunistic views, and to doctrinates of imitationism, sahojya, impersonalism, mayavad, and other diverse and contrary opinions, because they are little parochial about Vedanta. So they call Mayavad. And the Vedanta teaching, this is all Maya, Maya, Maya. The Bhakti school said, don't go to these people, they are very bad.
Mhm.
We are very bad because we are Vedanta. We talk about oneness, Brahman, Atman, no? And we say this world is appearance, momentary. So that is the bad connotation. Yes, there are, because those people only talk about that and don't do anything in spiritual life. They are only false Vedantis. No, he's talking about them. Avoid those people. That means you, even if you can find, there are many people who come only for logical fight,
Hmm.
debate. Uh, Many people, they don't want to love God or understand what the scripture means, but in their expression, they want to show how learned are they, how many philosophies they have read. So those are the Mayavada. Actually, Mayavada means in words you are talking a big talks, but not practicing. So they say these are objectionable ideas. What are opportunistic views, no? And to the doctrines of limitation, sahajya. Doctrines of imitation is just imitational devotion. No, you go and sing and dance only, but really not coming from your heart, just a showpiece.
Mhm.
Some people do the japa with the rosary to show I am a greater japa. Huh? This is imitation and false and imitation. No, so that to be avoided. I don't want to. That's why in our tradition it says you meditate in silence. You meditate in such a way tears will roll down. Let none see you. Huh? And other people will be like that. Oh, I'm a great spiritual person. So I am doing rosary and in front of all see how much I do. You don't do anything. Huh? So that's an arrogance. That's an ego. So that should be avoided. True devotee. That's why in our tradition it says don't show your emotions. Rather try to suppress it or keep it very private. Because you and God, you love God, out of love of God, your tears roll down. No? Okay, that's a great thing. Enjoy that. But what that has to do to us to show to the other people? So don't make a showpiece of your spirituality. So that is the obstacle for bhakti anyway. And Mayavada, as I say, impersonalism is Mayavada. Don't go to the impersonal thought. God is infinite one without two. These are people talk about that and then don't have any dry-hearted people. No? There are people who are really not practicing bhakti and jnana together. Hmm. That's why our Swamis are see. When they're talking about bhakti, they get totally infused into it. When they talk of jnana, they see they were flying in the high heaven. No? So it should be harmony of all this. One should not contradict the other. And other diverse and contrary opinions. All such persons fear the instructions given in the form of Upadeshamrita, means this book, considering them to be the personification of Yamaraj, who he who administers punishment to the deceased. But faithful persons who study and decide this Upadeshamrita with great love and apply it in their lives will become free from all kinds of doubt in regard to devotion and will easily attain the bhava bhakti and finally the most prema bhakti. Bhakti school's goal is prema bhakti. Prema means this highest bhakti, where you will be totally absorbed in God and you will be saturated with the divine joy. No? That's extreme. Hmm? But how to reach? You have to start with sincere devotion. Sincerely you love God, sincerely you pray to God, sincerely you repeat the Lord's name, and avoid unnecessary logical uh, threadbare analysis. There are many people who only intellectual. But intellectualism. Intellectualism does not give you spirituality. Intellectualism can, if it helps you to understand what is truth and what is non-truth, that is the meaning of the intellectualism. But intellectualism, many people think that is only arguing with your philosophy wrong, my philosophy right. And how can I prove that? What does it mean? You are spoiling time to correct me, or rather, you do your own business. You understand yourself. So there are two types of question. In our question answer, sometimes you'll see some people ask the question. What is the question? But they don't, in the name of question, they give a talk. They're giving some view. Then you can think what he's talking, what is the question? There is no question. He is giving his views. That means he's saying what you said is one thing, but I understand this way. Okay, you can say that, but it is not to know how to put question. Question should be to know the truth. Question should be how I can grow in love for God. Question should be how I can meditate more and find inner peace and joy. Huh? That these ways and means. Otherwise, only intellectual knowledge. Oh, the dualism is wrong, or qualified non-dualism is better, or non-dualism is the highest thing, or no, it is bad. This type of useless discussion has no meaning. এখানে আসুন।
So,
Therefore,
I've seen people in the temple cry or weep, and sometimes I don't know if they're having some sort of a breakdown, but it seems like when they're hearing the name of the Lord, they
yeah,
weep. And
if it is
what
genuine,
makes them? I mean, is that like a sign of gratitude? Are
No.
they crying because of gratitude, or what? I mean,
no, it may be, we are human being, we are emotional people. That we use our emotion to love for God. The same emotion which makes us cry for worldly loss and gain. Same emotion can be given for God. Ramakrishna is to cry for God. But some people are susceptible according to their nature, maybe more of emotional nature or intellectual nature, analytical nature. So those who cry, that is good. But is that cry giving him or her a boosting? Then it is genuine. If it is not, then we should have to check that. That emotion is to be checked so that you grow more love for God. It may come for any reason because the nature of the person.
When that happens in the temple, we don't mess with them. I mean, we don't.
And let them do. We said, oh Lord, help them. That's all. Let them. It is He and God. I need not have to partake into it. And moreover, spiritual life is for people of mental strength. It's not for the weak people. Psychologically weak people, if they do more meditation, they do harm to themselves. Because their mind is not fit. Mind should be stable mind, strong mind is necessary. Therefore, holding the dust of the lotus feet of the Guru, spiritual teacher, and following the lines of what Rupa Goswami just we read, the 6 urges to control upon my head. See, Varsavini Daitya Dasa, the servant of the Lord of Life, is setting down this commentary. He is writing, I am writing this commentary by getting the grace of my Guru. And now go to the next page, page 12, paragraph. There are 3 kinds of overwhelming passions observed in the worldly living entities attached to the material sense enjoyment. 1, the urges of speech, mind, and body. 3 things: speech, mind, subtle, and body. 3 urges. When one falls into the powerful current of these 3 impetus demands, it is very difficult to gain deliverance. Falling into the stream of repeated birth and death, such living entities are deprived of their spiritual well-being. But self-controlled persons who tolerate these demands are not overwhelmed by the material sense enjoyment. They are competent to vanquish this material world. So it's more simplified. Here he says, we are all as human beings has 3 types of urges. Urge, no? What is the first urge? Bodily urge. Hunger, thirst, eating, sleeping, all these things. Bodily demands, no? Mental and speech. Yes, body, mind, and speech. These are the 3 urges we should have to control. The otherwise, who don't do that, they, according to this book, they come and go, birth after death, death after birth, birth after death. In the wheel of birth and death, they rotate. The demands of speech referred to speculations of the followers of impersonalism, Nirvisheshavadis. That is the Vedantavadis who talk only, which are opposed to bhakti, to the logical deliberations of the result-oriented workers ensnared in the material activities, which stress the fruits of action, and to talk not related to the service of Krishna, but related to varied desires of the material enjoyment. The demands of speech do not refer to those words that apply to the service of Lord. On the contrary, such talk should be considered as the fruit of tolerating the demands of speech. Sometimes, although one adopts a vow of silence, he expresses desires for material enjoyment and so on, simply by his bearing or by writing. There are all included within the demands of speech. And the demand of speech is what? That tongue always wants to talk, no? So that is the speech. Speech always is forcing us to speak. So he says that don't talk about what I sum and substance of this paragraph. Speak something meaningful. Speak something which makes your life go towards God.
My mom always said, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all.
Silent. Rather to be silent. That's also another thing. Many people think, many people say, I will have to say, because it's wrong, not right. I say, Baba, what is your need? If it is not your need, why are you to say such things? Rather you do japa 2 times. Your number of japa will be 10 times more. So use that time. A very meaningful, purposeful people will not spare his time unnecessarily into vague, useless argument, discussion, and chit chat. Though we do that, but how we can reduce that? This is the path of bhakti is reduce that, reduce that, reduce that. Many people say, "Oh, I'm taking mantra, but I don't get time." But why don't you time? Oh, I have to do so many things. Okay, now be careful. Okay, am I talking now any useful talk? If not, let me repeat the mantra. Okay. Again, you forget. Again, after sometimes I'm saying something or my mind is engaged. Hey, no, let me do it now. So you can repeat the mantra continuously. A practice to stopping the other talk, entering into that. And also another thing, many people keep silence. They don't speak. But they speak more. Why? In the Himalayas, there is a type of people, monks, who maintain their silence. How? They don't speak. But they put, their monks have no money. So they put a slate, slate and pencil. Slate and pencil. So they hang it in their neck with a rope, piercing the borderline into making two holes, and it hangs. And anyone asks any question, he writes that uttar. He's writing that in the slate. Slate, you know?
Mhm.
Slate pencil,
Board. Yeah.
board and the
Yeah.
small board
Like a
type
little
of thing.
blackboard thing.
So it is made of stone. That's why you call slate.
Mhm.
Acha. In early days, we when we were young, we used to use the slate.
That's how we
started our first lessons. First lessons. I'm talking about 70 years before, not now. So they are writing. When you are writing, are you not talking more?
Yeah.
And again, I write something. I don't talk. Okay? You said, what is your name? So you write your own name. Where are you going? You write that thing. So you have to do more work by writing, which you can do. Just saying a word, you can quickly finish it.
That's the old-fashioned texting.
Old-fashioned texting. Yeah. Now the agitation of the mind. So here's you. So at the agitation of the speech, they have said, try to stop this. Useful. Try to be useful. Try to be meaningful. Try to beneficial. Second, the agitation of the mind are of two types: avirodha priti, unimpeded attachment, and virodha yukta krodha, anger arising from the impediments. The two types. What is that? Attachment for the faith of the Mayavadins, veneration for the adherence to result-oriented activity, and believe in the ideas that those who have many desires not related to the service of Krishna are three kinds. Avirodha priti. That means priti, love. If you have love, try to avoid that. Mental agitation. You generate love for certain things which is not congenial for thinking of God. Your mind, by intellectual analysis or distractions, try to stop that. And another part is that mere indifference to the activities of the Gyanis, Kurmis, and he's attacking two other philosophies: Vedanta philosophy, Karma Yoga philosophy. They are saying bhakti is greater, so they are actually saying that you are spending your time in doing karma. What karma? All karma is bondage. Only Krishna Seva is the only right thing. But Vedanta says, no, all your work is Seva. Not in the temple, in your kitchen. When you are cooking, you are serving God. So Vedanta expands that much. But this Bhakti school emphasizes, no. It is difficult. Don't go there. You go to the temple, deal with the deity, dress the deity, feed food, fan him, dress him, put him to bed, put him to rise, as if your whole day is going with God. But what about these gods? Vedanta says these are also gods. When there is a need, prepare a cup of tea and give it. Prepare some food, give somebody. So here also, not only in the temple, our Vedanta extends here. But Bhakti school say it is karma, it is karma.
But isn't it like that? It's the second step. First, your mind get concentrated in one thing. First, learn how to make only potato. Then potato, zucchini, this, that, you can extend. So if you are not in the first step, then how can you move to the second step?
Well, that's true, but we cannot, our life cannot go. Let me finish this fast and then I'll go. Then we'll have to stay in the grade one only all the life, in the grade school in the whole life. As ahimsa, sattva is all the different training of the mind, truthfulness, non-injury, non-hurting anyone. I let me first master in speech control. Then I will do the second control. It is
No,
impossible.
but that's different. That's a yoga you are talking about.
No, we are talking about the krodha control. It's the control of these things. We are talking about this control, that control. It should be simultaneous. But if the focus should be how we can reduce less and less all this distracted attention. So it is said that mere indifference to the activities of the Gyanis, Kurmis, and persons possessing other desires is but the unmanifest or undeveloped stage of unimpeded attachment. Because why you do all these things? Because you have your attachment. So give up those attachment. Love God. So that you do everything for God only. So when there is an impediment to the fulfillment of material desires, when one fails to obtain the cherished fruit of one's work, and when in spite of all endeavors one does not obtain liberation, anger comes about. No? Our anger always comes when? When I expect something, and it does not happen. Because of you. So I am angry with you. Because of some situation, I am angry with the situation. So our anger comes because we expect something, desire something, and it does not happen. But if we are really lover of God, we will not have to be agitated with anything because I am doing for God only. I don't expect any result. I need not have to think what good it will bring, what bad it is bringing. I did it for God. Finish.
That reminds me when I was 16, I took my very first self-help spiritual class, and they taught us this one phrase that has stuck with me forever. It's like unfulfilled expectations cause disappointment.
Right, exactly.
So
key point.
Yeah. And this is saying that all the unfulfilled expectations can be in work or any endeavor, but because of that, then you have anger. And this is like the spiritual version of saying that.
Right. We can be angry with God also. I am praying so much. Why are you not responding? That's a good anger. Angry, Ramakrishna said, you want to be angry? Be angry with God. How to divinize your passions and other. So you deal with God. You are there. You are my boss. You are the Lord of the universe. And I am praying you so many times. And you don't do that. What is that?
We all do that all the time.
No, but that's the point. But you cry and weep and demand, but not to people, world, but to God and God. So that's why it's called all your emotions can be diverted towards God. That's why gopis, they realize God by love. Then Arjuna by friendship, being a friend always. And Mother Jashoda, with this relationship like my dear child, I'll have to take care. No, so gopis with that. So everyone attained God realization by directing their own particular emotions towards God.
Yeah, just a different relationship.
But
still a relationship.
Ravana or Kamsa. thinking that God is my enemy. I'll have to kill him. So day and night thinking he is my enemy, he is my enemy. You think of your beloved person, you think more if someone tells you I'll kill you. No? That means your enemy you think more rather than your friend you love.
Yeah.
So you can think the same way, God is my enemy.
Wow, I mean, it's so much different from being raised Roman Catholic, Catholic, and it's like we're not supposed to be angry at God and stuff like that. But this is more for
more and diverse ways.
Yeah.
That's a Gita also says. Our Bhagavat, the greatest textbook of bhakti, they say, yena jena tena prakarena Krishna manoniveshayat. By any means, by your love, by your hatred, by your anger, by your frustration, you keep your mind in God. So you can do that. But towards the beginning, it is better to love God for love's sake. Not to be angry too much with God.
Yeah, and so many religions say to fear God.
Fear. Yeah.
And I never had that.
But fearing God fearing God is really not good.
There's a Hebrew word that is not translated good into English, which is how we get this fear of God. Awe instead of fear. It's better translated as awe of God, be in awe of God, but they translated it to be fear of God.
That's true. That's true. Also, it is true out of awe in ancient Hindus. They used to look at the sky and the storm and the thunderbolt and all these things. They used to, there must be some God behind. So to please that Lord, they started. So fear is true. It is, of course, fear is also there. I am nowhere to live. In those early days, in the Stone Age, or say in the early ages of the human civilization, where is your home? How will you protect yourself from this onrush of water or fire or storm or things happening? Therefore, they used to. Some say fear. Swamiji also said all religions started with that fear, but it's a better explanation. It is actually out of awe. Out of awe, their generous love. Out of awe, reverence comes. And out of fear, what happens? Oh, help me, help me. That's why there comes the sacrifice. I'm sacrificing this to you. You help me. With in Judaism and other, there is the idea of sacrificing the son to God. No, that God will be pleased. As if God is unpleased if I don't do.
There's also in the Gita when Krishna shows Arjuna his supreme form, it is scary.
Yeah, right.
And so Arjuna says, "This is too much. Can
Too
you
much.
just be my friend?"
And withdraw. And withdraw it. Withdraw your divine cosmic form. I cannot take it anymore. Yeah. So now the second paragraph in page 13, the demands of the body. That divided the whole our problems into three categories: speech, mind, and body. So now we are talking about what are the bodily demands we all suffer. Are also three types. Why? The urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals. Anxiousness to release any of the 6 kinds of taste. There are 6 kinds of taste. What are? Some juicy thing, charbo, chewing thing, charbo, chosso.
Yeah.
Right?
That's also Ayurveda: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, pungent, astringent.
That's it. 6 types of food are there, and we enjoy the food in 6 varieties. Fried food we like. Wow. Then you get juicy things, juicy food, and sometimes little pickle, ice cream. So different taste. So we
Not
enjoy.
the bitter melon.
Bitter melon, some may, and bitter melon also you don't like or like, it is a taste.
Yeah, but it's good for you.
Good for
Yeah.
You need some bitter in your diet.
So they say enjoy animal flesh, fish, eggs, wine, excessive ghee, milk, rabadi, a condensed milk sweet, cream, and so on is known as the impetuosity of tongue. That means our tongue becomes very much fascinated for that. We like it. Tongue says it's good. Let me have it. Let me have it. That's why in Vaishnava, you go to the Hare Krishna Govindo restaurant. They prepare beautiful food
Oh yeah.
with ghee and other sweets. So it is, but they say it is not food. It is a prasad.
Mhm.
They add this additional word.
Mhm.
That means it's offered to God. It is pure. Don't take because you like it. It is prasad. So that's a restraint. But we are all tempted to do these 6 types of tongue test, no? And it takes the whole energy goes and food, having food. The sadhus also avoid eating food that are overly bitter or spiced with its hot chili. Consumption of betel nut, mixture of the betel with various spices, cigarettes, marijuana, hemp, opium, and other intoxicating substances, as well as onions and garlic, are also counted as impetuous demands of the tongue. Sadhakas of bhakti must never indulge in these intoxicants. One should very carefully save oneself from the vehemence of the tongue by honoring the food remnant, Mahaprasad of Bhagavan and his devotees. One should carefully save oneself. How? From the vehemence of this tongue, I want other food by taking the offered food. Prasad, Mahaprasad, great. Although Mahaprasad may be very tasteful, it is not included within the demands of the tongue. But by honoring it with great faith, one can conquer the demands of the tongue. But if the pretext of accepting prasad, one desires one's own enjoyment and cunningly relishes its taste, that is also included as the passion of the tongue. To eat every costly and delicious food item such as rabadi and cream offered to the demigods at the houses of the wealthy persons is detrimental for renowned Nishkinchana Vaishnavas. In order to satisfy the lust of the tongue, one may become ensnared in the various types of reprehensible behavior and bad association. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is Jivhare Lalose পরায়ণ কৃষ্ণ নাহি পায় ভালো না খাইবে আর ভালো না পরিবে. It's a Bengali word. Mahaprabhu used to say, what says Jivharo Lalase with the what you call the taste
tongue of the taste of the
or the
tongue.
মানে impulse of the task, taste. Jivharo je that person iti uti dhai, he finds where is good food here, oh where is good food there. He goes from here to there. That person, Sishnodar Parayana, is called, that person becomes sensual. And she enjoys food and tongue, means it is all sense. Tongue and the food. So, and also sexual things also. We call they are all worldly minded because they want to enjoy only the bodily pleasures.
Yeah, there's a word rasa.
Rasa.
It means taste. It means taste of the tongue, but it also means taste like your preferences. You know, like your
We also
taste in clothes or taste in people.
Right,
you know,
right.
that kind of thing.
Right, exactly. So then he says, that's why the Sri Chaitanya advice, bhalo na khaibe, eat whatever comes.
Plain and
But
simple.
Plain and simple. Don't only hanker for what is the good, what is
Sweet
good, what is good, what is good. And you know, nowadays you see the sugar, whatever we are, everyone understands the bad effect of the sugar. But sugar, everyone likes sugar or sugar product, milk product, good. But it is condensed milk, sheer, much more
Lots of fat
payasam,
and sugar and everything.
payasam and other things, or sandesh. They are very tasteful, and people go for this shop in Calcutta. You know, there are so many sweet meat shop. This shop, prepares only this good quality. Okay, that's all. That's so people are going on purchasing here and there and there and there and eating and eating and eating and getting blood pressure and blood sugar and other things.
And heartburn. Yeah.
So that's why persons who are prone to carnal pleasure and eating too much and who runs here and there to satisfy the greed of the tongue never obtain Krishna. That means why it is simple thing? Because mind roams
Mind.
around all these things. So mind, that same mind is not two mind or one mind. If we give it in this way, you don't get the mind for God. So one should not wear elegant and expensive clothes, nor should one eat delicious food. See, in Vaishnava literature you are reading, it is like a monk's. Actually, Sri Chaitanya was a monk. How he used to live. The ordinary, humble, and early Vaishnava saints, followers of Sri Chaitanya, very austere. You cannot believe how austere they used to live. Even now, even those who are Vaishnava, real Vaishnava devotees, they are very humble and they live very simply with simple food and simple eating and simple dress, more time engaged in God and prayer and meditation. Now, sadhaka.
Vedantins say, pray before you eat
Yeah.
and then enjoy it.
Right.
And so we don't say, skip delicious
No.
food.
But the point is that we do the same thing, no? What they are
And
talking.
It's treated like it's a sin to eat delicious food, but we say,
Yeah.
say your
Offer
prayers,
it to
be
him.
thankful for your food,
Right, right.
bless it, and enjoy.
Now they are
It's
speaking.
prasad.
Yeah, they are speaking from the perspective of those who are very much indulging themselves in that eating to restrain them. It is not that a good. You go to every Hare Krishna temple, you get the best food,
And they enjoy it.
enjoy it, but as a prasad.
Yes.
But many people are not of the same mental state. They go not thinking that eating this food good, that food. And that's why we say, out of this prasad, you say there are many a prasad, but there is Rasagulla. I like that Rasagulla more. Why? If it is prasad, prasad is everything. But we like that taste tongue. Tongue tells me, that is good. That means in a way I am saying it is prasad, but I am enjoying it not as prasad. But
Once this is Gopesh Maharaj's that diary that was Shuklatmananda wrote, there was very nice story that he after puja when he was in Vrindavan, so Shuklatmananda was his attendant, so he would keep that jasmine garland prasad for Maharaj. So then Maharaj, the Gopesh Maharaj would refuse. Don't bring this for me. Don't bring this for me. So he said that I bring prasad for you. I don't bring the garland. Don't. Then he said that no. Then one day he got really angry, and this fellow also is trying to bring serve like that. So he also got frustrated. So they had to face that question. Why no, no, no? Then he said that you are saying me that you bring prasad, but you are not bringing prasad. Then you will bring any type of flower.
why do you bring
But
jasmine
you are
every
bringing
day?
in particular jasmine. This means it will make me happy or to smell good like that. So you think it is good like that. So then
No, but point is that he's a great soul of our order. He wrote the life of Sri Chaitanya, beautiful life, not yet translated into English. But there is Brindavan Center. We have a center in Brindavan, and very famous center there for hospital work. There is a temple, so they give in the hot season, they put jasmine garland to Ramakrishna. And every day, his attendant, after when we take out the garland, as we do here also, at the end of the day, he will take that prasad to Swami's room. And every day he brings, he said, you are saying it is you are bringing prasad, then why don't you bring the other flowers also? Why are you bringing jasmine? That means you like the jasmine for your own smell. It is prasad. In the name of prasad, you are enjoying. So there is some subtle distinction. For mind cheats us. That is the point. Our mind sometimes cheats us. If you say prasad, then there may be non-fragrant flowers also, or not that good-looking flower. Why we take from the tray every day? You people give, the pujaris give some flowers. We select flower. Why? All flowers are offered. All are prasad. Why don't you take the which is already dead, almost gone? You don't take that. That's also prasad. Rather, it is greater prasad. So, in the name of prasad, you mean that, but your feeling is something. Be aware of that. Okay. The sadhaka should very, very carefully avoid these things. Gluttonous persons usually suffer from different types of disease. That's the physical. By eating too much, many difficulties ensue. Persons who eat excessively generally become subservient to the demands of the genitals and thus become debauchees. What is debauchees? By accepting Bhagavat Prasad in a suitable manner, by observing Ekadasi, that is fasting occasionally, in accordance with the regulations, and by serving Krishna, the demand of the belly are mitigated. The demands of the genitals are of two types: in the accordance to the scriptures and not sanctioned by scriptures. When a person who has attained maturity marries in accordance with the scriptural regulation, observes the prescribed dharma for a householder, by following the proper behavioral codes for begetting good progeny, he regulates the demands of the genitals. This is classified as sex indulgence in accordance with the scriptures. There are many different types of illicit sexual indulgences, such as transgression, scriptural and social codes, and accepting another man's wife, lasting after 8 types of conjugal exchanges, and enjoying the senses by artificial and these different means of the scriptural code. Both the householders and enunciates who are sadhakas of bhakti should always remain aloof from the demands of the tongue, belly, and genitals. So these are very common principle for purifying the heart. That does not mean that they will not have any sex, because they are householder people, they will have. But how to divert that urge towards God, that love for God will generate, so that you will be having greater joy, longer joy, perpetual joy, rather than momentary split joy. In the book of Prema Vivarta, Sri Chaitanya Dev, Sri Jagadananda Pandit has said, গ্রাম্য বার্তা না কহিবে যবে মিলিবে আনে. Well, this is a Bengali word. He says, oh my brother, you are wanting to be a lover of God. Huh? You are an enunciate monk of Vaishnava school. They are talking about Boiragi Bhai, understand? Not for the householder people, like our monks. No, they are talking about the same monks. What? Oh Boiragi Bhai, brother, oh brother. So is the meaning. Oh Vaishnava mendicant, oh brother, whomever you should meet, do not hear from him or speak with him about mundane subjects. Do not speak intimately with a woman even in your dream. Oh brother, you should give up your wife and household and retire to the forest if you wish to develop love for the lotus feet of Sachidananda Gaura Hari. Then you should always remember the examples of Choto Haridas. If you desire Bhagavad Bhakti, then you should not eat delicious food or dress yourself very luxuriously. In this way, you should always serve Sri Radha Krishna with your own heart. The meaning, it is meant for the Vaishnava monks. Vaishnavas have two types. Only Vaishnava they can marry. And among the Vaishnavas, they are called who? Monks. So he's talking about the monks. Be careful. So that your mind does not get digressed into any other. These are the monastic principles. But in the householder life also, it should be regulated, so that one day, that's why Hindu society is divided into 4 stages of life. What? Student life called Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means a boy life when you celibate. But that means concentrate your energy in study, and your focus is more on purity. And now when you are mature, your adult age, then you marry. Brahmacharya, then Gaharastha. But family life, you maintain family life, enjoy life, what it can give you. have children, have your own spouse, no? But love, respect each other. And then along with that you love God also, so that it is God-centered life. And then when you finish your uh, length of life in the household life, then you feel that I have done enough. Let a husband and wife, both of them, will be more inclined to God. They will retire from job and other things. You call the retired life. Yeah. After retirement, you spend more time in studying the scriptures, meditating and praying. But now what has happened for the Indian people? When they get retired, then they'll have to go to grandson, granddaughter. That is their extra duty. That time they don't get any time for God even. But that should not be. It is you do that duty also, but more focus for your spiritual growth. And last stage is sannyas. You become totally detached from everything and God and goddess. So they're talking of the fourth stage here. Only one who fully is able to tolerate the six urges of the body, mind, and word that have already been described is fit to be addressed by the title Goswami. That is the point. Why this is called Goswami? You are not familiar with this term. In Vaishnava tradition, these are called Goswamis. Goswamis, that means one who is the master of his senses. Go Swami. Swami, where Swami? Swami means who has the control or trying to control your own self. No? Go Swami, you have control over your go means the senses. 5 senses, you are trying to master your senses. You are not weaker, but you are becoming stronger. So our Swami was Goswami. Our Swami Sarananda Maharaj is born in a Goswami family. That means that is a very prestigious class of people. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Goswami, they call Goswami, but they have perfect control over their mind and body and soul. Such Goswamis are the true servants of Krishna. Those who, on the contrary, are controlled by the 6 demands, such as called Go Dasa, they become not the master. Go Swami, they become Go Dasa. Dasa means the servant. So those who cannot, they become the servant of the senses or slave of the senses and not Goswami. Those who are Godasa, servants of the senses, are actually servants of the illusory energy. If therefore they desire to become servants of Krishna, they should follow in the footsteps of those who are truly Goswamis. There is no means other than this. Those who are senses not controlled can never become devotees of Sri Hari. Bhagavat says that, oh Father, he's talking, Prahlada. In the Bhagavat is this devotional text, no? There, one young boy, his name was Prahlada. He was born in a family where everyone of the family is very worldly minded. His father was totally against God. So the Prahlada is praying, saying to his father, oh Father, materialistic persons are simply milling over that which has already been milled and chewed, that which has already been chewed. Because their senses are not controlled, they are proceeding towards the dreadful hell of this material existence, repeatedly trying to enjoy that which has already been consumed. The intelligence of such materially attached persons cannot be turned towards Bhagavan Sri Krishna, either by their own endeavor, by the instruction of others, or by association of similar materialistic persons. So it is said, be careful about these 6 urges which makes us slave of the world. Let us be slave of God, not the slave of impulses which takes our freedom.
Where would spending too much time on Facebook be?
Facebook,
On the mind speech.
mind and speech. True, Jaima.
Category is
Eh?
Digital
Now time has changed. Time has changed. Our eyes see good things, eyes see bad things. Many bad things, which you are watching some television, you do not know what is coming next moment. So the control there is much difficult. That's why earlier days life was very simple. Ah, they live in a family life or whatever in a society was little God-centered society. So it is much helpful. But now it is not so easy. Even if you want to be trying to restrain or control or channelize your life towards higher life, so it is difficult. But
Even on the highway, if there is any accident, all the cars in the opposite side even. What is happening? The whole lane gets slowed.
yeah, our cars get slowed. Many times I find no reason. Our side, nothing has happened. But all cars are staggered around. Why? On the other side, something has happened, or in some lane, something is going on. And one person tries to see, and as he slows down, next person,
Yeah.
it is a chain reaction. So, see, all the impulses, they are very stimulating, and it takes away our attention. So, it is good to be little careful and to reduce and have our own, but our time. Main thing is that 24 hours time. How much you utilize in a proper way and how much you utilize in a way it is meaningless. So it is your choice and you get the benefit. Good, good, bad, bad. So that is the point. This says, I think maybe it seems too strong. That's why I wanted to tell you. We in Vedanta always say it is strong.